Here we are. It's day minus 83. It was, of course, gorgeous yesterday, so obviously we're in Maryland, so it has to be gross and disgusting today. It's like someone took all of the weathers, all of the different kinds of weathers, and just like put them in a boggle dome and just shook it up, and then just like rolled it out across the year, you know? You're like, oh, it's winter today. And then like tomorrow it's like spring. And then fall, and then spring again. And then it's summer for like a couple days. And then winter for a weekend. And then the times change. And you're like, oh, okay. I don't even know what time of year. I don't even know what point in the year I am now. So yeah, Maryland weather is kind of psychotic. I'm not gonna lie, it's nuts. So yeah, it might be a little slow today. We'll see. Which is a shame because Saturdays are usually pretty good. But when they're gross like this, not always as good. Yeah, all right. There's one thing that I ran across looking at. I hope they don't ban TikTok, by the way. I think it's ridiculous. They think, like, you're really worried about our privacy? Are you serious? Like, now you're worried about it and this one app? Meanwhile, like, all of your notifications on these phones is being sent to the government. Did you guys know that? All of the notifications you get from the cloud, like a text message comes to you, and then it goes to the cloud, and the cloud kind of registers it and sends you a notification. That notification, people have access to that. And they always have. And Google and Apple both do this. It's a real thing, you guys. I'm not even a conspiracy guy. This is a real thing. So it's like, oh, okay. But suddenly this one app is like a threat to everyone's privacy. It's insane. This country. Oh, God, this place. This place just gives me a fucking headache. And by this place, I mean America. Anyway, we don't need to talk about that right now. What I wanted to talk about was I saw someone mention something on TikTok, and it kind of rubbed me wrong. And I was kind of like, I don't like this. Like, I'm usually pretty chill about this kind of stuff, but for some reason it just irked me enough that I feel like I have to say something about it. So it was somebody talking about, like, when they're out, it's like a wife out with a husband, and like the husband looks away, and so the wife sneaks off to the plant section. And I've seen this joke before. Like, I've seen this joke about like the housewife having this like, ooh, I gotta sneak off, and I gotta sneak a few more plants because of my addiction to plants, because I'm really into plants, right? And it's like, okay, you know that like housewives aren't the only, I mean, husbands like plants too. And in fact, in my experience, having sold plants to people for the last 4 years, I gotta tell you, it is not a gender specific hobby at all. Like, at all. Like, it has nothing to do with it. I mean, anecdotally speaking, I would say I think there's actually more dudes involved with plants than women. That's my feeling on it, because especially when you get into the really high levels of care and like information, and it gets more and more technical and kind of like complicated, I feel like I tend to be around a lot of dudes when it gets there, you know what I mean? But that's just my experience. It doesn't mean there's not higher level female participators in horticulture. I'm just saying that they're not the only ones. And it's like, it's not just housewives collecting strings of pearls, you know? So I was just like, what are you talking about? What the hell is it? What are you talking about? Like, no. Like, okay, the wife's sneaking off to get her nails done, maybe? I could be like, okay, well, that makes sense to gender that. You know, because fancy nails is kind of a feminine thing, right? We consider that a feminine thing. But, like, houseplants? What the fuck does that have to do with your gender? Like, I just don't even... Or that you're a wife. Like, what? Shut up. That's crazy. So, like, I just don't... And I don't like it because then I feel like, oh, there might be some, like, I don't know, I don't know why a teenage boy would be watching your TikTok if that's what your content is, but maybe some younger male is like sees that and is like, oh well, I don't want it to get like if it's a girl thing, maybe I don't want to, you know what I mean? It's just like everybody can be into this. You're gonna find something in this world of horticulture that you just fucking love. I promise. Like every one of you, if you dive into it, you're gonna run into something. You're like, that's really cool. I'm gonna spend time on this. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this idea of like it's like a housewife thing or something, I just am like, what the fuck are you talking about? God, it's just like the 90s. It's like everyone's stuck in the 90s. It's just like, oh my God, have you not been listening to anything going on for the last like 30 years? Like, how are you still in these brain sets? I just don't understand it. How can you be in a brain set like that? So anyway, yeah, please. If you're like a 12-year-old straight boy, come in, there's plants, you'll love them. It has nothing to do with your gender. Okay. I'm going to get off my box ranting about that, but it's a joke I've seen more than once. Like I see it and it comes up and I'm just like, what is this theme? What is this fucking goddamn cockamamie theme? I hate it. Anyway, just shut up with it. Okay. I'm going to go keep making pots. I tried making a round yesterday and it did not go great. It did not go great. It did not go great. I'm being a disrespectful teenager. And be like, oh no, I'm working on my jaw. Whatever the fuck they're doing. Fucking kids. I'm at the age now where I can't be like, oh my God, the kids. All right. Yeah, I'm in a mood today. I actually slept pretty good, so I got a lot of energy today. I'm feeling feisty. Yeah, I think if I ever got into acting, I would want to be like that kind of chaotic best friend. Like I would want to be like Jan from Firefly. That would be a good role for me. This is sort of this like asshole best friend. Who's a total dick, but then like he's kind of there for you when you need him. Yeah. All right, back to real life. Good luck out there on the internet.